In our defense, we had some really bad days. Welcome to Crocs in the Kitchen.
I'm Jessica.
And I am Brian. This is a talking video.
Yay.
Now, I know a couple weeks ago we did the This Is Not a Confession video. And that was all about us like kind of doing, not kind of, we did bad. Doing bad over July and August.
It was actually 47 days. I went back and looked at my weight app. And the last recorded weight that I had that was at my lowest point was on July 10th. And then after that, it kind of was like, ooh, okay. And then I just stopped weighing myself.
Yeah.
So it was 47 days between then and when we posted the other video that was not a confession and still was not a confession. Yeah.
But we figured that we would give a little bit of an update just on like how it actually did affect our weight.
So yeah, in that video, as we talked about the fact that I hid the scale.
Yes, she did.
Partially because I didn't want to know how much I weighed, although sometimes I would sneak it out and weigh myself just to see if I was like, and then I would get depressed and then eat really good for a couple of days and then, yeah. But anyway, Brian, I just didn't want Brian to be sad. I just wanted you to be ignorance is bliss. Like, I don't know. After a while, it just was like, I don't know. I don't know why I hit the scale. It's not a good thing. It probably wasn't good.
No, it messed with me.
But you could have found it.
I don't know where it is.
It was literally under the nightstand.
Was it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm super tall. How would I even remotely see that?
Didn't you hear me, like, pull it out sometimes? And one time I clanged it into something and you were sleeping. You're like, what was that? And I was like, nothing.
Yeah, I figured it was nothing. It's like, it didn't sound like anything in particular to me.
Well, anyway, so if you guys are wondering, we have a scale that tracks our weight on an app, so we can actually register in that. And in my defense, you had, ever since June 22nd weigh-in, which was like the big, like, goal where Brian wanted to hit 200 total pounds lost. You weighed in at what? 311?
311, yeah.
Something, 311 or 310 point something?
It was 311.8, I think was.
Something like that. I don't know.
I don't remember.
I can look it up.
I don't remember.
Let me check. Let's see.
Wow.
So we have a scale. It's called a Renpho scale, RENPHO. We have a link to it. If you go to our Amazon store that is linked with all the products that we like, it's in the description of this video.
Good scale.
You can find the scale. It was actually really cheap. It works really well, and we can both manage our weights on this app. So let me go into Brian's thing here.
That was a heck of a spike there.
Hey, calm down. That was my... That was my little spike. Calm down. Okay, let's see.
I was going to say, you're going the wrong direction.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, the lowest you weighed in at was actually 310.6
okay,
at one point.
310.6 at one point.
So at one point you were at 310.6. So then the last weigh-in you ever did was on July 6th, and then you just completely stopped. And I did not hide the scale. And I know for a fact that you were weighing in and not letting it record the weights on here because you didn't want to record those weights, because what happens is...
Well, I mean, because we'd had like a rare and appropriate, and I didn't want to like track
I know.
Like the fact that I had a bunch of food in my system. So,
but it's funny because what happens is when Brian weighs in and then I try to weigh in again after him, the Bluetooth is like, hey, was this weight yours? And it's like trying to tell me that I weigh 300 something pounds. And I'm like, no, that's not me. But it will also do a thing where if you weigh yourself and then you weigh yourself and you've gone up by like, I don't know what the range is, but like say you've gone up 5 or 10 pounds or something since the last time you weighed yourself, it's like, it'll ask you, is this really you? And that just depresses you because you're like, yes, it's me. I'm just fat. It's fine. But anyway, so should we talk about yours first since we were already on your numbers here?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so in this video, we decided that we would go ahead and tell you guys exactly what we weighed at when we weighed ourselves finally. I know we talked about it on our live stream video. We were joking around about it, but I do think it's important to let you guys know, like, this is how bad you can actually do if you get off the rails. Like,
You really go off the rails.
You can really get off the rails and really do a lot of like damage and erase months worth of effort.
Yeah, I actually I got to the point where I was actually scared by how much I could actually eat, and it was actually mildly terrifying.
Yeah.
So,
but the good news is that we have gotten ourselves like sort of out of this funk.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're really making progress. You know, we're doing really well the last like I don't know week or so. We've been doing really well with like trying to get everything back and all that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so your lowest point was 310.6. So did you weigh in the day after the confession video?
No. I waited a couple more days.
You waited a couple more days. You're big on like you don't want to weigh with like all the extra food in you, and you want to get like a true number.
Yeah, I want to get like a true number of actual weight gain as opposed to, I ate a lot of salty food and I've got a bunch of water in me and like a bunch of food and a bunch of the
pie.
Yeah, something like that. And so, but I did finally weigh myself after a few days after that, and I weighed in at 344. So I'm not proud of that one.
That's quite an achievement.
That was a big
33.4 pounds.
That was a big jump.
But I think it'll come off pretty quickly.
But considering,
I
mean, like you look at it though. I mean, like I was losing about 15 pounds a month.
Yeah.
And so then I gained about 15 pounds a month.
Yeah.
When we went off. And that was even with doing, many days of still eating our regular whole food plant-based diet. It's just that sometimes, when you get into that mindset and you just binge, it's like you can really do some damage to yourself and gain weight.
A lot of the days that we were eating, even when we were eating good and eating the whole food plant-based, like eating the good stuff that we have, we were definitely overeating on it.
Yes,
like we were,
absolutely too.
We weren't controlling ourselves at all. We were just I wouldn't even be hungry, and I would just it was just boredom. It was depression. It was all that kind of stuff wrapped up. So, yeah. It's not cool. I did weigh myself in the day after the day that we picked, I think it was like a couple of days after we posted the confession was the last day that we ate like the bad. We were like, let's get it out of our system, blah, blah, blah. You know how you always do like, let's have one more hurrah. So we finally actually were like, okay, this is actually the last hurrah. Like, this is it. Like, I wanted to go to a special lunch with my mom, and I don't get to eat out with my mom a lot now because it's true. Well, first of all, we don't eat out ever right now because of all the stuff going on, but it's just really hard to eat out with people because we don't eat out ever. And so I wanted to have a really nice lunch with her, and so I was like, okay, this is our final day, we're done. So the next morning I stepped on the scale. The scale
magically reappeared.
It reappeared, and
your number was?
Hold on. It's not cool. Okay. So my lowest point, just for reference, I actually ended up getting down to 149. I know at the 10 more pounds weigh-in, I was like at 155, but by July 10th, I had actually gotten myself down to 149, which makes this even more sad because I was getting so close to being like in my goal range. But when I weighed in on that August 26th, I was 183.4. 183.4. So let's see. Hold on. 183.4 minus, what was that I was? 249. 249. Oh, 149.
Wow.
149. Oh my God. 149. And what did I say? 183.4. So it was 34.4 pounds. So about the same amount as you. Now, that being said, I weighed in with all the water weight and all the stuff and all the binge eating of the day before, which was a lot, and that was bad. Now, the lowest I've recorded since then, I've actually dropped more than 10 pounds, so I've actually gone down back to 172.2, which was only on August 28th, 2 days later. So 2 days later, I was more than 11 pounds down from where I was when I weighed in. So keep in mind, if you do go crazy, like you're going to have a couple of days, and now I did do a 36-hour fast after that and all that kind of stuff. But if you're going to drop 10 pounds is easily like water weight, the stuff that's in you, all that stuff. So for me, that's what I find at least. So I'm back into I'm really, really close now to getting back into, and hopefully by the time this video airs, I'll be back in the 160 something range. So probably about 20 pounds is what I really gained from doing this whole thing.
Yeah.
Was it worth it? Absolutely not.
Definitely postpones the end goal as far
Yes.
as like getting to a healthy weight. And you know, we weren't necessarily like ashamed of what we did. We
No.
definitely weren't proud of what we did. But it was something that we did, and now we've moved on from it, and we are better for it. We feel better already, even
Oh, yeah.
after this last week, and you know, we've gotten all of this other stuff together, and we're having a grand old time again, you know?
Digging ourselves out of the hole. So,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I feel a lot better. I feel like my mood is definitely better. The last
Energy
couple of
levels
days,
are up.
energy is getting back. Like, you just, it's the thing is, you just know, like you saw in our previous video where we went over my blood work, like you just know that doing this is good for you. Why would you want to, like, not do it? Why would you want to harm yourself? Why would you want to, you know, put the weight back on? Like, you know in your head what is going to make you feel good and what is, you know, the proper path, but sometimes that isn't enough, and sometimes you just get off course.
Yep.
But the important thing I think to learn from all this is that you don't have to just, like, you know, fall into a pit of depression and be like, well, I've already done this, I may as well give up. Don't ever give up. Like, you haven't failed until you've completely given up.
Yep. I say you only have failed if the last time you did it, you know, it leads to your death. So
There's always hope.
As long as you're alive, as long as you are breathing, you still have the option to turn your life around and actually accomplish your goals of losing weight, getting healthy, and all of these other things that you want to do. One of my favorite, absolute, all-time favorite lines from a song is, "You gotta kick at the darkness till it bleeds daylight." And sometimes it's just what you gotta do. And so when you're in those dark days of depression and you're eating bad and you're gaining weight and doing all that, eventually you just gotta keep kicking at it and keep kicking yourself into gear and keep pushing yourself. And eventually that daylight comes and you can turn it around and you can lose the weight and you can get healthy. You can do all of that kind of stuff. It's just, you know, getting to that point where you finally do decide to actually turn it around. But I did have a lot of hope because, like I said, I did ask Jessica on like the day of when we were getting ready for like the live stream and all of that kind of stuff, and I was just like, and you were even depressed then, and I said, do we have to go through 2 weeks of potatoes again? And you said no.
No.
And that's because you understand that we crossed a line, and we are not ever going back to our old weight. To our old weight. We're not going back to that. We're not going back to the old health. We're going to new health, better health, and we're going to live long and prosper. Yeah.
And this probably won't be the last time. All right, Vulcan. This probably won't be the last time that we mess up. And, you know, hopefully it won't be as big. Hopefully we can, like, you know, we can learn from this and maybe the next bump won't be quite as big.
It was several bumps.
There was a lot of bumps that led to it was
a lot of bumps that led to a bunch of different bad things.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes it's going to happen in life. Sometimes it's going to be one of those things in life where a bunch of bad things just keep happening. But there is always a moment when the bad things stop and a good thing will happen and you can change it then.
You're so inspirational.
I am.
I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just trying to remember out what song that is, though, that you quoted.
Oh, "Lovers in a Dangerous Time" by Bruce Cockburn.
Okay, I wouldn't know.
As quoted by Bono in one of his songs too.
Bono. Oh yeah, I was gonna say because Bono used that line in a song, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Okay. All right, that's why I know it, because I definitely don't know the other version. Sorry.
See, you like your famous Canadian singer-songwriter Bryan Adams. I like my famous Canadian singer-songwriter Bruce Cockburn.
Okay. Well, I think that's about it for this video. We definitely have some really exciting things coming up on our channel.
Absolutely.
And we're super excited. This has shown we're not done yet. We're not done learning. We have much more to, to share and to learn. And we love all of you guys. And we really thank you for the support. I know that like when we talked on Brian's podcast, I talked about how sometimes it can be overwhelming to get all the suggestions coming in and all that stuff, because we get so many different suggestions leading us in different ways. And you can imagine that's a little bit overwhelming, but we do appreciate you guys. We know that it's all, coming from a good place most of the time.
Some of you guys were mean.
Some of you guys are mean, but it's fine. I can handle it. It only makes me stronger. But I really appreciate all of you guys, and we couldn't do this whole thing without you, and we really appreciate it, and we look forward to sharing more content and more recipes. But if you want, I'm just taking over your clothes.
Just go ahead.
If you want, you can follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram, on Facebook. Sometimes we're on Twitter every once in a while. You can also check out our website, crocsinthekitchen.com, for more recipes, all that kind of stuff, blog posts, photos, everything. Let's see, subscribe to the channel. There's a little button down there to subscribe, and you can click the little bell if you want to get notified every time we post a new video, just like this very one. Let's see, like the video?
Yeah, you can like the video.
What else?
Is that all I got?
I think that's all I got.
We will see you next time on Crocs in the Kitchen. Bye.